Preface. It is always the case that many more people are involved in the creation of a book than the table of contents can depict, and indeed this book is no exception to the rule. Authors are important, but they are not alone in their endeavors. This book is the result of a 3-year international project on teaching the Cold War. Memory practices in the classroom, funded by the Leibniz Association. It is an elaborate procedure via which project proposals are designed and negotiated in today's academia, a world increasingly dependent on third-party funding. Sometimes one is required to describe one's ideas and plans within a meticulous word limit. I was highly fortunate in that I did not have to navigate these mires alone. I am indebted to Eckhart Fuchs, Simone Lasig and Inge Niehaus, who with their usual aplomb were sources of great support during this process. Research proposals are one thing, inspiring ideas another. The idea for this project and thus also for this book was first voiced at my breakfast table by its spiritual father, my husband, Bernard Christoph. Back then, we were musing as to why studies on memory cultures and history teaching focus so often and almost exclusively on National Socialism, a topic that nowadays is only rarely subject to differing interpretations. While Bernard did not have an answer to this question, he did point out that a different topic, the Cold War, was indeed the fulcrum of lively debate in many societies. Thus the project was born, and my thanks go to him. Our research, however, was not limited to the Cold War itself, but to how the Cold War is taught in schools. In Germany, Sweden and Switzerland we spent hours pelting teachers with questions, and eventually penetrated their sacred territory, the classroom, with video cameras. We extend our sincere thanks to all these teachers, who allowed us insights into their work with an openness that is by no means self-evident. However, no matter how cooperative teachers may be, data collection in schools is always a troublesome thing to do with bureaucratic hurdles to overcome and permits from ministries, head teachers and parents to obtain. The authors of this book are very much indebted to Catherine Zare and Nora Zimmerman, who did a great job in supporting us with all this and in conducting field research in German and Swiss schools. We all know that the road from project to publication can be long and rocky. This applies in particular to projects like this, involving researchers not only from different national academic cultures but also from different academic disciplines. Peter Gottschi, Markus Furrer, Nora Zimmerman and Nadine Ritzer from Switzerland, and also Robert Thorpe from Sweden, are historians or history didactics experts. Eva Fischer and I from Germany are social scientists. The thread of communication between them remains smooth and unbroken, which is also thanks to Katharina Baer, who coordinated the project with efficiency and sensitivity. To her too we express our gratitude. It is generally good academic practice to discuss the initial results of a project with others before publishing them, and indeed this is something we did with enthusiasm. In this regard we are indebted to all those who asked us shrewd and critical questions, thus contributing valuably to more precisely defining and clarifying our findings. Special thanks go to the students of Karina Korostelina at Georg Mason University in Washington, D.C., the staff and guests of Christian F. Osterman at the Woodrow Wilson Center in Washington, to Francisco Ramirez and his colleagues at Stanford University, and to the colleagues of Manish Jain at Jawaharlal Nehru University and Ambedkar University, Delhi. It was during this tour that we gained the interesting, if not unexpected, insight that the discussions we held in Delhi were the most lively and productive of all. Something perhaps not insignificant given that the most interesting debates in Cold War research tend to be those addressing the so-called Third World. Useful feedback was also given by students participating in international summer schools I organized in Georgia and Tajikistan. They proved the general rule that those new to the field sometimes find the most interesting patterns in material with which others may already be too familiar. Finally, when the data has been collected, the results discussed and the papers written, that is, when a book is, from the author's point of view, more or less complete, it is then that the editing begins, and for this we are grateful to Wendy Ann Kapish, who with linguistic subtlety and human tact ensured the texts were in a reader-friendly English without anyone feeling that they had failed to master this global language. Thanks also go to Tilly Nevin, who assisted Wendy during a summer internship, and to Merrick Payne, who helped with the proofreading. Finally, we extend our gratitude to Eleanor Christie and Rebecca Wyde at Palgrave Macmillan for their support, as well as to 2 anonymous reviewers, who in the first stages of manuscript preparation offered valuable advice and suggestions. Brunswick, Germany, May 2019. Barbara Christoph.